Great.
There we go.
Nice
There
to
we
see
go.
you again. Yeah, great.
Little bit of a technical issue there. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise, Jeremy. A warm welcome to my channel, and I'm really looking forward to, our insightful conversation. And I hope that this conversation will be really helpful for my viewers. So let's
Hope
dive
so.
into it.
Hope so. First I'm sorry, is your name pronounced uh Gino or Janelle?
General, yeah.
Janelle. Okay. Okay, Janelle. All right. Well, like in your previous emails, you kind of do kind of an ad hoc sort of interview.
Yeah,
Um, so
I'm.
what would you like to know?
Yeah. First, enlighten me about yourself, Jeremy.
Well, I'm originally from the United States, the Pacific Northwest, to be specific. I grew up in a small rural mountain community. Um, then when I turned got older, I moved to a larger city in that same area. And then I moved to Seattle for a few years and then moved back. And now I am living in France.
Okay, France. All right. Wow, that's intriguing. And in terms of the work that you do, like I see that future studies of ourselves, government,
Yeah,
society,
yeah.
humanity, the world.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that work?
Well, I would like us to think ahead and the actions that we do and the repercussions from those actions. Um, I just would like us to think about the actions we take and we do an action and it results in this or this path, and then we do another action and results in this path or this path. um I think what it is I just see the world the way that it's going, and I'm just very concerned that we may cross a precipice where we can't go back. I mean,
Mm,
think of life as a stream on a river, and you flow down this river, and you make a decision to turn this path, and you make a decision to turn that path, and as you flow down the river, um, you eventually end up at for example, a lake or a body of water as you follow
mm,
this river. And and yes, we can make this, we can make, if we go on the wrong path, yes, we can correct, and so we are still, our destination is still that same body of water, maybe in a different place. And I think that I, I think that humans don't think ahead. I don't think we think ahead as much as we should. And and there's a lot of there's a lot of misconceptions about what there's a lot of misconceptions about other cultures, other people, even people within the same culture.
mm.
And for example, if you give a person choice A and choice B, you can't fault them for not choosing choice C.
Mm. Okay.
And and if you give them choice A or choice B, you have to give them the ability and the correct information to choose the right choice. And I think that I think we don't we I don't want to say that we go through life haphazardly,
Mm,
but I don't think we really think ahead and think about what people are going to choose because of the options that we gave them. And I would like to have people think about the all available information and options that they have.
Makes sense. Okay, I hear what you're saying. And like, let's try to dig deeper into that. Now, how do you do that, Jeremy? Like, I'm concerned about my future, and I feel like, let's say that the actions of my today would have bad repercussions tomorrow. So, how can I rectify it? How can I make it a better future?
Well, it's if you're explaining if explain to the person that explain to whatever situation that you're in. Say for example, your significant other is I don't want to say impeding that, but say impeding your what your goal for the day. But but you need to explain why you need to explain to that person why you need to do this, why you need to do that. I mean, yes, sometimes it's difficult to explain that. I have to do this so that I can do that. And I don't think and and also it boils down to common courtesy. I don't think the world has enough common courtesy
Hmm.
in a sense that especially when people are driving in traffic or something, their personalities change. And I don't think we can isolate our actions
Okay.
that way. I know that's kind of an odd answer, kind of a discombobulated answer to your question, but
Still, like I'm processing all these things, and you wrote a book which I would like to share. That is taking action for a better tomorrow. Taking action for a
yes,
better tomorrow, right?
correct.
Yeah. So, what compelled you to write this book?
I I just saw that the way that the world was going and the decisions that we're making and the impact that we're causing other people to make. We have an impact on their lives, and in turn, they because of the impact, they may make this decision, make that decision, and then it causes another person to change to do an action reaction, and then it eventually comes back to us. And I think that for for example, in my book, I am very critical of extremism on either side. And although yes, I don't have much time to read anymore, but I've always appreciated listening to or watching documentaries, um, uh, listening, learning. And I think the adage is true. The more you learn, the less you know.
Hmm. Okay.
And and so one of the two books that really influenced me when I was younger was Animal Farm by
Ah,
George
George
Orwell.
Orwell. I have
Yeah,
the book.
yes, and Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Yes,
Wow.
and they um and those two books explore the repercussions and the gradual slippery slope downfall of socialism and fascism, and how neither one is a very happy has a happy
Yeah.
living state. Yes.
Hmm. Same goes with, I guess, 1984 of George Orwell's book.
Yeah, yes. And that's true. And people can say we're starting to kind of live in that state right now. I mean, with all the video cameras everywhere and the and you can. track people where they go, what they do, and it's kind of yeah, I that book was very influential to me as well.
Yeah.
And it seems that it seems that both I don't know what you want to call. Everybody has their own opinion of what's liberal and what's conservative. What may be conservative in one part of the area, one part of the country of a country or world may be considered liberal in another. So I really don't want to get into those terms,
Mm.
but it seems that we are kind of going towards that, no matter what country uh, or government you're in, um, whether it's what part of the world, under what regime or social political structure. It seems that we are starting to a lot of video cameras and monitoring of people, and it's
Mm.
not limited to one. I don't think it's really limited to one liberal or conservative agenda, because both are actually kind of using it. Countries that people in the general may be considered liberal, and countries that people may be considered conservative, are both adopting those measures that were in the book of 1994. So it's kind of so we definitely need to start thinking about the actions that we're taking and the consequences. You know, it takes just a little bit, and then just a little bit more, and then just a little bit more, and just a little bit more. Sooner or later, you hit the precipice, and that slippery slope is going to just,
Yeah. Mm. True.
I
Okay.
mean, yes.
Let me put this way, like let's say that the world is deteriorating on regular basis, right? It's not getting better. Uh, if we try to look from that perspective, so
Okay.
how we can make it better? Are you saying that we should stay away from technologies and try to live a
Oh
simpler
no. Well, both have their
person?
horrible is nightmarish scenarios. I mean, the adoption of technology, and then you cyber, and then you get to the point of oh, what was the name of that book and movie? Um,
Can you say the
I
plot, Jeremy? The plot of that movie?
Oh, Blade Runner.
Blade
I don't
Runner.
know if you've ever seen the Blade Runner.
Was.
And are you human? Am I, and the whole discussion of and so there's that nightmare scenario, and then there's, are you gonna live on a farm and that grows their own vegetables and fruits, but in a sense of um some sort of egalitarian society that doesn't produce, and you become you start you can't once you open technology's Pandora box, you can't really
Mm,
go back. You
mm,
can't. And um and yes, organic, say for instance, organic farms, organic food, is more healthy, but it's not sustainable. You can't now. Yes, people should have their own gardens and have their backup plans if something should happen, if this flow of goods does not reach, if this, say, avocado, potatoes or pineapple. I mean, yes, you cannot grow certain crops in certain areas, but but you can't completely turn into some uh um some sort of farmers market co-op sort of community, because it doesn't, it's people have tried it and eventually it fails. So I mean, yes, there are some that are been around quite a while, but but and yes, some are sustainable. But as far as like feeding the world and feeding the world, you can't do that. Now, I was in Iceland when
Oh,
I was traveling, and I bought a banana, and I asked them, just out of curiosity, because it was Iceland and it was in the middle of winter, and there's a banana, and I go, okay, and I just looked at it, and I looked at it, and there's no label or mark where it is.
hmm.
And I go, asked them, where's this from? And, oh, we grow it here. I go, oh, okay. You grow it here? Yeah, yeah, we grow it here. And I go, well, how do you grow bananas in the middle of winter in Iceland? And he said, oh, well, we have hot houses,
Yeah.
big, big hot houses, and we harvest them twice a year. And I thought that was ingenious because they were using the geothermal, because they have massive geothermal energy, and they were using the geothermal energy to grow crops and food in the middle of winter. And I thought that was amazing. That was a beautiful engineering of self-sufficiency. Um, so I guess I'm kind of getting off on a tangent.
No,
Sorry.
I'm really enjoying this thing. Like, I'm trying to look from the world from your lenses, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. And the next question, Jeremy, that where do you see the world in the upcoming 10 years?
Um, where I see the world. Oh, I hate to give a pessimistic view of it, uh, but I just hope that the trial and tribulations that we're going through right now,
Hmm.
I hope that we come out through the other end. One of the articles that I wrote is a new dark age,
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
yeah, and it's about how we come into these cycles of building and destruction. And I hope that it's not, the destruction is not, we do have the capability to end our species on this planet. We do have that ability. I just hope that clearer minds will prevail in making sure that it does not come to that. Now, that isn't to say that we can't do something, major catastrophe, or do something that could cause us to be set back, uh, potentially hundreds of thousands of years. I mean, uh, we could do something that could significantly, you know, alter our genetic structure, um, do something that could set us back into hunter and gatherer stages. Or it could be something as simple as, for example, in my book, Taking Actions for a Better Tomorrow, I explained there's a documentary by uh, there's a documentary that I watched years ago as a child, and by Carl Sagan.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Carl Sagan, if you've ever heard him. He was an American scientist, and he explained that if the Great Library of Alexandria had not been torched, had not been burned down, we could be potentially 2 or 3 or more 100 years ahead of where we are right now. And this was made in the 70s, and he explained that if it had not burned down, if it had not been destroyed, because there were scrolls and papyruses, and they knew that I think it was Pythagoras. I'm not sure on that. That knew that the Earth was round.
Okay.
Okay, and if the library had not burned down, um, we could have by now we would have colonies on Mars, and we would be beginning our human exploration outside of our own solar system. And because he said that there was papyruses and scrolls and all kinds of information that was there, had been collected over hundred or even a thousands of years,
Okay.
a thousand years, what, 1,000. And example, and I think it was uh, um Archimedes.
Uh,
Yeah, Archimedes. I think it was
yes.
don't quote me on the relations of this. It was, I think it was Archimedes that if you really want to get, sorry,
Yeah, sure. Uh,
if you want to really get technical about it, he actually invented the first steam engine.
hmm.
Now, I'm a little exaggerating on that, but he invent basically what it was just two two stands with a bar and a sphere and
Yeah.
two little pipes that come out of it. And he would put it under, if you put it under hot flame, it created steam and the thing would churn. It was kind of more of a novelty toy. But it was that was around thousands of over over thousands of years ago. So,
And sorry for interruption, Jeremy, but
yeah.
I guess this Archimedes, that was the person, I guess he was the theme of the latest movie of Harrison Ford, like the one with, he plays the Indiana Jones and he goes back in the time to meet Archimedes, I guess. Have you watched the recent Indiana
No,
Jones?
I'm not familiar with that movie. Is it
Yes, that was the thing of it. The things that you are mentioning, that he invented all this thing, and for that reason, like I guess Harrison goes back into the time where he meet
mhm.
guy Archimedes, and I guess he also gave the concept of aeroplane and all thousands of years ago.
Yeah, he um not yeah, I'm trying to think. There was also another inventor, um
Uh,
another inventor that had thought about the concept of flight.
just confirm that. I guess it was Archimedes. Wait. Uh, because I watched this movie like many months ago, but I got
Right.
when you said that Archimedes, I thought that he's the guy. Very cool. Like this Harrison Ford goes back in the time. I do like re-
Yeah.
ah a race is against the time. Legendary accompanied by.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at it was Leonardo da Vinci was also, he explored the concept of flight. He never quite got to it, but definitely explored the concept, Leonardo da Vinci. Um,
Hmm.
and and if the uh, old there was the Chinese have been using the lanterns, the flight of the lanterns for thousands of years. I mean, And if they uh, I forget which empire it fell. I forget the name. I'm horrible with names.
By the way,
Um,
Jeremy, I was right about this Archimedes. The plot says that like Indiana Jones goes back and he
yeah, yeah.
Archimedes. I guess you would be quite thrilled after if you watch this movie. So,
What's the name of the movie?
that's the latest one, the last one, Indiana Jones and the Dial of
Okay.
Destiny.
I saw the earlier movies.
Yeah,
Um,
this was the last part of it back in, I
oh,
guess, 23.
see, I mean, I'm on a computer right now, and yeah, I haven't seen the last one. It's the. Can you repeat the name of the last movie? I'm kind of trying to look it up
Yeah,
here.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, Dial of Destiny. Okay. Yeah, I have not seen that one. Yeah, that was a fairly recent one,
Yeah,
2023.
yes.
Wow, okay. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have much time to watch movies. Used to watch movies um a long time ago. I'll have to take a look at it and see because I'm very interested in the science fiction genres of alternate timelines and what
Yeah,
ifs
yes.
because it kind of plays into what I'm thinking of the river. If we follow this path, then this we choose this, and
Hmm.
yeah.
And
But
for me, I teach English for a living, so I always
yes,
try to improve myself. So on weekends, whenever I'm free, I try to do this podcast kind of thing, and I also watch movies. So I try to hit two birds with a stone. I get entertainment also, and I learn something out of it.
okay. Actually on my YouTube channel,
Hmm.
I read the first chapter of my book
Okay,
of my book, and I'm in the process of putting bits and pieces of it on it. But I have on my YouTube channel, I have different articles that I've written, and you can find the free download. It's free. All my writings are free, so you can download the text and listen along. So if anybody,
definitely. I'll share with my
yeah,
viewers. This is the YouTube channel of Jeremy.
yeah, yeah,
You can follow this channel, and I'm sure you will learn a lot of things out of it.
yeah. It's a Jeremy P. Bogus. Just Jeremy P. Bogus is the
Yeah.
name of yeah.
I guess you
And
talked a lot about your book, right? The one in the picture.
yeah, it's what I if you go on to the videos, it's one of the first videos that chapter one is one of the very first videos that I put on a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Right now I'm reading gradually reading parts of it, but they're not in order. They're not in order, but the title's there and I try to put it's actually free on Google Books.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense. And
Yeah.
you have written like try nothing, nothing changes. Something is happening worldwide. Threshold off. Well, can you enlighten me about this?
Well, try nothing and nothing changes. Yeah, because if you um the first step at change is taking the first small step to change. I mean, if you do absolutely nothing, nothing changes. And if you just sit there and let life happen, life be, um, you're going to find that yes, you can. It's sometimes it's you can go with the flow, and it's you have to pick your own battles. You have to, say for instance, your friends want to go to you want to go to this restaurant or this place for dinner and or lunch and okay well I don't especially like it, but we'll go.
Mm,
But for it's this it's the small changes and say for instance and you can say, oh well, I maybe you don't agree with the what the restaurant owner does or how the food is made, prepared, or where it comes from. You go, well, maybe I've I have you checked out the views? Have you checked out the views on this? Actually, there's a very good place across town. It serves this food. We haven't had this food for a while. Let's try this. And even say for instance you see someone walking down the street and they just throw something on the ground, just litter, and you can say, oh hey, you missed the trash can. Oh yeah, oh there's a trash can right over there. You kind of don't um don't be pushy. Don't be
mm,
pushy. Just say, oh, there's a trash can right over there. It's oh yeah, it just try to a lot of it has to do with the approach. I mean, if you say, I mean, people instantly
mm,
close. If you're more welcoming and you're more inviting, they're more apt to do it. And it's just little changes. Maybe you have a 15 or 20 minutes spare time, and instead of watching some kind of maybe it is necessary to watch entertainment on YouTube and something funny or hilarious, but maybe look listen to a documentary, read a book.
productive, something productive, I guess.
Yeah, something productive. Learn, it's learning can be entertaining. It can be,
True.
yeah, and just learn a little bit, or even if you have a if you have small children, or even adult children, just and you see that they're having a tough day, just give them a hug or a pat on the back, and it's all these small changes that they do add up. They do eventually add up. I mean, and maybe there's something that you want to try, and people tell you, oh no, don't try it, don't try it, you can't do it, blah blah. um Try it and see if you can. I mean, because actually I've kind of noticed that people, when people say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, it's because either they're afraid that you can actually do it, or they know that they can't and you might. So I don't want to say they're jealous, because that's not
Mm,
it's it couldn't be that. It could be they're trying to protect you from disappointment. But even trying something and failing, you learn from that. You learn, okay, well, uh, perhaps in the next situation, when it comes to that, oh, I tried this with that, and I knew that didn't work. But maybe if I tweak this a little bit and try this, it might work. I mean, try it and see. I mean, you may not succeed, but don't go in thinking that you're not going to
mm.
succeed. At least try something.
It reminds
And
me of a line, Jeremy, that if you don't swing, you'll never hit a home run. So you have to.
yes, true. That's very true. Yes, yes. I've heard that idiom before. If you don't swing, you never hit a home run. And I mean, chances are that you might not, but if you don't swing, you're never going to hit a home run. So it could happen, but if you don't try, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And in terms
Yeah.
of learning also, like the Leonardo da Vinci himself said that learning never exhausts the mind. So you can never get exhausted if you keep on
No,
learning and learning. So
no,
that's
because
also a beautiful quote.
yeah, you get that thirst for knowledge. I mean,
Mm,
and you, oh. this? Well, then why this? Oh, yeah, that's why so
Hmm.
and so years ago did that. Oh, yeah, I should try that. That would make my life so much easier. That's gonna, or oh yeah, okay, now I understand why. So that means the next time I do that or this, I'll do this, and my life will be much simpler, and I'll be able to accomplish my goals and see what, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. I failed many times, but I always learn from it. And learning can be addictive. It can be addictive. I think it's a um I think overall it could be healthy learning. It can be a positive thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And in the light of what you are saying, even Benjamin Franklin said that investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
Yeah, yes.
All right.
And yeah, Benjamin Franklin, he invented a lot of things people don't realize, like the
Hmm.
bifocal glasses um and he's most famous for the kite and the string and discovering electricity, but he's done other things like the bifocal glasses. And
Yeah,
so yeah, and I think observing and learning the world around you, can you help realize what actions you're taking and what the possible consequences of those actions are. And if you do this, if you don't want to keep repeating, every time you repeat an action, maybe try something a little bit different. Try this. Eventually, something will come out of it. A positive result will comes into focus.
hmm, definitely.
I'm no expert, but it's just
Yeah,
I'm just a common man's perspective on things.
hmm, makes sense. I would really love to carry on this conversation. However, like the Zoom is compelling us
Yeah,
to,
we talked about, yeah, it's
but we're
getting
gonna
the
catch
past.
up next time, Jeremy, and we'll continue from this point, I guess.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope I didn't go off on too many tangents on you and kind of him and hot and
Oh, not at
gone
all,
off.
man. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. It was
Okay.
fruitful, it was valuable, and I hope that our viewers, my viewers specifically, they would learn a lot of things out of you. So it's really insightful, and I'm already looking forward to our next conversation as well.
Yeah, and I would really appreciate if you could put a link in your description somewhere. It'd be
Yeah,
helpful. Yeah.
definitely. I'll tag you and everything. And also, I'll tell my viewers to check out your book, your YouTube channel. And yeah, definitely, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I hope that would be successful. And I think that maybe it would be beneficial to help you as well, putting a
Definitely.
link.
It was really educating for me. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
I hope so. And thank you for the wonderful conversation.
Take care, man. Bye.
Bye.